It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome. It's the Jill on Money Show, the program that takes the mystery out of your financial life. I am your host, Jill Schlesinger, and I am the CBS News business analyst. I'm also a certified financial planner. Now, this is a program where we hope that money is not scary, and of course, we know it's not boring. It is a show that helps you understand what choices you might have ahead of you. If you have a financial question, or if you're going through a big transition in your life or a small one, all you need to do is go to our website. It's jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button and we will get your note. Now, you'll have a couple of choices after you complete the form. We'll ask you whether you would be willing to come on the program via audio, and we'll also ask you if you would be willing to come on the program via video. Our video program, which is our brand new show, it's a YouTube show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. And who exactly is The Compound? It's my buddies, Josh Brown and Michael Batnick. They host another program called The Compound and Friends, very hyper investor focused kind of content. So if you like that, go check that out on their channel. Anyway, back to us. So we've got our YouTube show, which is wonderful. And we also have on our website an ability for you to subscribe to our service called Jill on Money Live. Now, this is where for $35, you have access to quarterly live webinars and lots of special bonus content. We've just posted our brand new upcoming webinar. It's with Cal Newport. He is a best-selling author and one of the world's top productivity experts. He's going to share his groundbreaking philosophy for creating great work at a sustainable pace. Who could not use that? I know I could use that. Wow. If you would like to join us, you've got to be a member to the Jill on Money live service. Again, $35 for the next 12 months. And this is just one. You'll get 3 more after this. And you can also listen to the back catalog. What a deal. Okay, right now, let's talk to Denise. She's on the line from Connecticut.
Hi, Jill. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course. Tell me what's going on. How can we help you out today?
Okay, so I'm 56. I'm an Army veteran, and I want to change my work and change my life.
I like that. You're ready for your reset. How long how long did you serve?
So I only served 5 years, and I use that word only because, of the other veterans who have sacrificed so much more than I have.
What are you doing now?
So now I work full time in a job where I've been in the insurance industry for the last 25 years.
And do you like it? Do you not like it? What are you thinking?
So I'm thinking of a change. I have a master's degree in counseling, and I've always wanted to be in a capacity where I'm more helpful in serving others.
You're a service person. You sort of kind of could do that with insurance, but, maybe not exactly. How much do you earn right now?
Okay, so I currently earn roughly $120.
Are you entitled to a small pension from your Army service?
I don't know that I am, but I do have one with my current employer.
You do? You have a pension?
I do.
Tell me the details of that.
Okay, so it kicks in now because I'm over, like I said, 55, and I've been there over 10 years is when you're vested in your pension.
Okay, so what are the details for you? Okay,
so I currently have, in terms of my retirement, about 407 in a 401k. Most of it is in a stable value fund now because I want to retire soon. I have 200 in an IRA that's being managed. I have the pension I mentioned before at my current employer. That's
how much is that? How much will that amount to in a monthly or annual amount?
Okay, so in a lump sum, it's 100. I did run the calculations. I think it would be somewhere around 2,000 maybe monthly.
And that would start. So let me just make sure I understand this. If you said, okay, by December 30th, I'm done. Next year, you would start receiving $2,000 a month, or would you have to wait until a different age to get that $2,000 a month?
I can determine when I get it. And when I say 2000, I ran the numbers based later in life, not immediately upon retirement.
Okay. And how much later, do you know?
Well, so I'm thinking of starting to collect my pension maybe 60, so in another 4 years.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So at 60, it would be 2000 a month. Good. All right. 400 and something thousand in the 401k, 200 in the IRA that's managed. What about non-retirement money?
So I have about 60K in cash.
And do you have a brokerage account at all? Like any other money that you have invested?
No, I don't.
Okay, good. And how about your home? Where do you live? A house? Do you own it? Do you rent? Where are you in life?
So I own my home, which I've lived in the last 13 years. I have about 17 left on the mortgage.
That's it?
That's it, because I put down a lot lump sum.
What's the interest rate on the mortgage?
It's about 2.25%.
Okay. And how much is the house worth?
It's about 350 today.
Okay. I didn't ask, are you married, single, partnered?
I am single.
Kids?
1.
How old?
12.
What? Oh my God.
There's a story there.
Oof. Okay, that is a young kid, 12-year-old. Do you have money set aside for education, or are we going to UConn? What's happening?
There's money set aside, yes.
All right. So let's say that you think about the master's in counseling. You say, I want to go give back. How much do we need to have you bring in to cover your expenses? What is it that you're spending on a monthly basis?
So I live like just bare bone. I don't have any debt currently. And I would say monthly, I spend somewhere between $25,000 and $3,000 a month.
Oh my God.
And that's currently including the mortgage.
All right. And that goes away shortly, presumably.
Yep.
Is there any reason to believe that that would go up for any reason that you could imagine?
No.
So how much are you putting away into retirement right now when you have $120,000, but you're only spending $3,000 a month? How much money is going into your 401k right now?
22%.
Is there anything else that I should be thinking about when we're thinking about your nice big money reset? You're doing your great money reset. Do you have siblings you'd have to take care of, parents, or people? Conversely, do you have money that could be coming to you through inheritance or anything that would change your trajectory beyond what you're doing yourself?
I wish there was. There's a small, very small disability that I get. And that's only like $165 a month, but I think it entitles me to medical benefits through VA.
Oh, that was going to be my next question, that if you're going to make this big switch, how are we going to finance it? And how are we going to manage your medical? But your medical you think is covered?
I think it is.
But you're going to double, triple check that for us, right?
I will. Absolutely.
Okay. We'll get back to Denise in just a minute. If you got a financial question, just give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. We are here trying to help you make better financial decisions. And there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to need to think about going forward because we are about to enter into tax season. At the end of this month, you will begin to get all of your tax forms. You will see that the IRS has the website open, ready to rock and roll. If you have specific tax questions, we'd love to hear from you. All you need to do is go to the website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button. Of course, let us know if you want to join us on the air. Now, we're going to be posting a lot of stuff about taxes. There aren't big, huge changes in the tax code. Most of them are based on the inflation rate, and some of the tax brackets have expanded, not the tax rates themselves, but the brackets. Some of the ability to claim credits, those have changed as well. So I'm going to be posting probably in the coming weeks. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I'm going to have a nice blog post for you to guide you through what may have changed between the tax year 2022 and tax year 2023. And by the way, I know we all gripe about taxes, but it should not be so difficult for the vast majority of people who claim the standard deduction. If you itemize, it's still a pain in the neck. I know it. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. But I hope you have a good tax preparer or accountant. If you don't have one, you better get one right now because it is time. They're filling up fast. Okay, right now, let's get back to Denise from Connecticut. What would it mean for you to make this shift? How would you go about doing it? Like, could you make this much money? You're going to have to, is it being self-employed? Is it getting another full-time job, just learning how to do this thing called provide services? What do you think?
So what I'm thinking is I would get something part-time so I can be more available for my daughter. And I'm thinking I would want to do something again where I'm able to bring in maybe about $40,000 a year.
If you were to do that, then you'd have to dip into your cash, right? Because if you're bringing in 40, then we have to, that's going to be taxed. Okay, we get that. When do you want to make this change? Like now?
I'm thinking 6 months out. I want my daughter to finish her school year. And I was thinking taking a couple months off because I haven't done that in years and just, spend some time in Florida maybe, or I have family there and then go from there with maybe part-time.
And Denise, have you looked at your Social Security full retirement age benefit?
I have.
Tell me what that number is.
So I put in that I stopped working at 56 and then, it was just an estimate. I didn't put my social in on the website. But it did say somewhere again around maybe 22,000 monthly starting at 62.
2,200, you mean?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
And that's at 62. What if you waited till 65? Do you have that? 67. Do you have that number?
I do not have that number.
That's the number I want.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, how you're going to make this transition. I wouldn't leave the job until you actually really explore this. Really wonder, is there a job there for you? Is it a job you'd want? Like you might say oh, I really want to do service. And then you're like in some social service program with a maniacal boss that's like, why am I doing this for this little money when I could stay with my, in my lovely insurance company and make 120 grand a year and keep socking away money. So I wouldn't leave my job until I really understood what are my options? How am I going to do this? What is the game plan? And then I think what you really should be considering is trying to find a way for you to work, if you're going to do this part-time, that you do this until you're 67, not 62. I mean, it's 62. Let's be honest. Okay. You're 56 right now. So we're talking about 6 years from now, your kid's 18. Your kid's not going to want to hang out with you. Like when she's 16, 17, I'm sorry. This is just my experience of being an aunt to many, many kids. They're like, they have their lives and you're young. I would really try to look at this as what am I going to do for the 10 years from age 57 to 67? How am I going to organize my life? And can I make the numbers work? Because you don't spend a lot of money, I mean, probably you're going to make the numbers work no matter what. But it makes no sense to take your Social Security early, unless you're telling me you have terrible health and like very bad stats on longevity in your family.
Funny you mentioned that. I don't have terrible health. I do have a minor heart issue. So that's part of my reasoning for wanting to
How minor? How minor? Come on. Dr. Schlesinger is here to hear. Are you telling me you're like, oh, I have arrhythmia? Big deal. Then you have to keep working. But
I do have that. And
big
I also
deal.
Have,
Me too.
Hold on. I've got an aneurysm. It's a tiny one. It isn't at 3 centimeters or 4.
Yeah.
But it's a watch.
Okay. So we're watching it.
Yes.
But like watching it, okay, so
that concerns me a bit, right?
I
don't
hear you.
want
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stress
I
of
get you.
working for
Of course.
too long if I don't
I know. Imagine the stress you're going to feel when you start hearing everybody's problems and you're counseling. I still think you're really young, and I get it. I get the desire. I get the heart thing. I'm worried for you because I don't want to do all the planning based on this. And then all of a sudden you're, okay, I'm 62 and I've got my $2,200 a month and I've got my $2,000 a month of my pension. It's $4,200. So could I do something part-time? Sure. But like, some of this stuff is set in stone. You'll get a little cost of living adjustment on your Social Security. I don't know. Do you have a cost of living adjustment on the pension?
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah. So half of this will move with inflation. The other half won't. I don't want to see you in a bad situation. It won't happen in 10 years. It would be like, I'm 75, everything is fine in my health, and I'm running out of money. That I don't want to see. So you've done a very good job of saving. I don't think you should have to stay in anything, but I do think that you should probably plan to say, what would happen if I did this for 10 years, and look at it more of the upside. Like, hey, this would be awesome. I can do this for 10 years. I can carve out a schedule that works for me. I can be there for my kid. I can see how this career develops. It might be that you want to keep working if you love it, right? I just want you to have a more expansive outlook on what you would do. That's really what I'm thinking. And by the way, I'm wondering also if you have that more expansive outlook and you're continuing to work, maybe it would be better if you waited to pull the plug on the pension at age 62. It's only going to be 5 years. Maybe it does make more sense. So I think all in all, you'll be able to do what you want to do. I'm not sure you'll do it on the exact schedule that you're laying out to me. I think it's much better, again, unless you have some strange, terrible end stage illness. I think it's better to think of what would happen if everything actually went very well, and what would happen if I lived until I were 85 or 90, and how would I be managing, and all those questions. And I think it behooves you to at least open that up. Look, maybe in 5 years, you're saying to me, hey, guess what? I'm not just making 40 grand part-time. I've been making 80 grand part-time, and it's amazing, and I love it, and I'm going to just keep doing it, and then we have nothing to talk about, really. So I think that we need a little more information. I think that you are in a great situation to contemplate this kind of a change, because you are such a frugal human being. You really are.
I am.
And I think that that's what gives you the opportunity to make this decision. So without going too nutty on you, I just say, hey, could we maybe not think of like tomorrow making this happen? Can we really maybe wait to the full retirement age for Social Security? Because maybe that would be better. I just think that it gives you more options to at least think that way. Maybe if things go really great, all of a sudden you're like, I'm done. And you'll call me back and say, I planned on the worst, but it turned out even better. If you have a question about a change in work and your life, give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. The Jill on Money Show will be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show. If you have a financial question, this is the place for you. Just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. While you're there, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter every single Friday. It's a perfect tune-up for this weekend program. It really is. So check it out, the free weekly newsletter on Fridays. Okay, right now, let's get back to you and your questions. Let's talk to Mo, who's on the line from Seattle. Hi, Mo.
Hi, Jill.
What's going on?
Well, not much. I'm ready to retire. I need you to give me the thumbs up.
Are you 76? I'll let you retire at
Oh,
76.
well, we'll see. So I turned 55 this year, and I always thought that I would retire at 55, but the stock market hasn't been great.
Wait a minute. Why 55? Do you have a pension or something?
At that time, I did, and I have a small pension then, yes. But I think things have changed. I actually want to continue to work part-time.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That makes me feel a lot better. So
I thought you'd like that.
Okay. So how much do you earn right now?
So about 200,000.
Oh, all right. Do you put money away into retirement? And if so, how much have you accumulated?
Okay, yes, I do. So ever since I was 22, I've been told to max out and send everything to retirement. So at least 12% of my pay since I was 22 always goes to retirement. So yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, is it pre-tax right now, or like all pre-tax money?
No, I didn't start doing the Roth IRAs till recently.
Mm-hmm. Well, give me the pre-tax amount that you've saved.
Probably 100,000. Oh, wait, sorry. Okay, that's post-tax.
Aha. So Roth is 100,000 and pre-tax is?
And pre-tax is everything else up to 1.5 mil.
Oh my God. So you have 1.4 million in pre-tax money?
Yeah.
In retirement?
Yeah. I've been working a lot, Jill.
Oh, stop. How much money do you have in like safe money, brokerage, savings, anything that's not retirement?
Yeah. So non-retirement in stocks, I have about 300K, and that's, individual stocks as well as, your index 500, S&P 500. Yep. And then savings, as in like 4.3% savings, is probably about 120K. I think of that as my emergency fund. So that's my non-retirement.
But that's great. What about your home? How much is it worth?
Oh, okay. So I have one home here, and it's about 1.2 mil worth.
Oh my God.
And I think I only owe less than 150, and I'm at 2% mortgage. So I'm holding on to that. That's like free money, right, Jill?
Yes, ma'am. You have a second property?
I do. So with the pandemic, everybody started moving away from, our hometown over here. And so I just bought a property in another state. I'll just say that.
Okay.
It's worth about 500K, but I think I owe like 250.
Is anyone living in that now? I mean, are you renting it?
It's my vacation home until I actually do this part-time retirement thing.
Mm-hmm. So if you look at these two houses and living your life, how much does it cost you to live? What is your current expense level?
So what I have written down is I'll probably need an income of about $7,500 a month. That includes the two mortgages and any other expenses
That's not very much considering that you have these two homes. Are we sure about that, or is that ambitious?
I don't go anywhere, Jill. I just go between the two homes. That's my vacation.
Okay, that seems good. That's cool. So, and it's just you? You don't have
Just me.
Okay. And what about the period of time? Let's say you say, I'm done, 2023, I'm done. How long would you work part-time, and how much could you earn doing that?
Yeah, so I'm thinking I work part-time until I can tap into my retirement funds, which is what, 65?
That's not, I mean, you can get to it at 59 and a half.
Yeah.
But do you really think, is that going to be, could you do it for 5 years? Could you do it for 10 years? Like, how are we going to get you health insurance? What's happening with that?
Yeah, that's right. So one of the reasons I want to still keep working part-time is to hold on to my medical insurance. Right?
So that would be 10 years, 55 to 65. Okay. What do you think you could earn? And again, enough to get health insurance and enough to maybe just like keep you engaged, but not too much.
Yeah.
You know
So part of my current salary, maybe 100K. So really go 50% of my 50 to 60% of what I'm making right now. Yeah. So let's say 100K.
Okay. And then would you think you could do this at your current employer, or would this mean a totally different job?
Oh, here's the thing. I thought I was going to retire because I thought I was going to start hating it. I love my job. I love it even more now. I don't know why. It went the other way. Yeah. I'm consulting. So I get to see all sorts of different clients all the time. So.
Oh, so you really can make this work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Even if it's with this employer or another employer, I mean, everybody
Okay.
needs consultants, right, Jill?
I guess. It depends what you're consulting about. But you get health insurance through the companies where you consult, or do you go through a third party to get you the consulting gig? And that's where you get your health
I go
insurance.
through a company. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a, what they call a
Great.
W-2 employee.
Great. Perfect. Okay. So let's think about this. Yes, you'd give up your 200 grand, but if you were just working from 55 to 65, we could essentially stop making any retirement contributions. Maybe, do you get a match at all?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very small.
I mean, you might just put in up to the match and then you just live on the 100 grand a year. Could you do that? I mean, because obviously it's not 100, it's 100 after tax would be less. I think that what it would look like is you would be able to clear about, let's call it $5,500 a month from $100,000 a year. Okay. So all we would need to do is from your investment account and your savings account, something between the two, we'd need $2,000 a month. Seems reasonable, right? We'll get back to Mo in just a second. If you would like to join us on the air, either on this program, on one of our podcasts, Jill on Money, the Daily Podcast, the Money Watch Podcast, or on our brand new YouTube show, Jill on Money, powered by The Compound, just go to jillonmoney.com and click the Contact Us button.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show, and we are here trying to help guide you towards your better options or different options. They don't always have to be the best. It can be what you want to do in the most efficient way, or maybe with the least amount of risk. I like a little bit less risk than many of you are into, but that's me. I'm kind of a wimp. Anyway, right now, let's get back to Mo, who's on the line from Seattle. The only thing that might be a little bit unnerving to you is that you'll have to spend the money that's in this non-qualified account, the 300 that's in the individual stocks and mutual funds. You'd have to spend it down, and you'd have to be okay with that.
Yeah, that's a weird shift in thinking, isn't it?
Yes, that's why I'm pointing it out to you. Now, it is also possible that you say, well, I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that. Maybe I really want to make enough money so that it's only $1,000 a month out of that account. I mean, because you have the ability to kind of choose your outcome, most people don't have this, which is great opportunities as a consultant, that you might be able to just net neutral, but you'd have to know that you're spending some of your money. And that would mean at the beginning of every year, you would have to know that there's $2,000 a month freed up, not invested in that account, in that stock and individual account. Then you could just pull it out. I would probably make it so that it was funneling into your savings account as almost like pay, like you're paying yourself. Then you let everything just continue to percolate. And then by the time you get to be 65, the next thing that has to happen is when you stop working, what I would suggest is from 65 to 70, assuming taxes are in the same place. We don't know. That's a pretty big assumption. I get that. But let's just pretend tax law hasn't changed. Between 65 and 70, what we would have you do is pull money out of your pre-tax retirement account. And that would be all the money that you need to live on. That would be your $7,500 a month. I would have you do it right there. And then at age 70, you claim your Social Security, you're golden, goodbye, you're done. I mean, you don't have to work after 65, but I think that's the game plan.
Okay, cool. So
Now,
work part-time up to 65.
Yep. Use the pre-tax retirement account from 65 to 70. At age 70, claim your Social Security benefit. And then you just supplement that with all this other stuff that you have, the pre-tax account, the Roth account. And if any of this like freaks you out too much, then kind of scale it down. Maybe it's age 55, I'm making 200. Maybe you say, you know what, for the next year, let me see what it looks like to make do a little bit less. Maybe make 150. See how that feels. I think just because you're a conditioned saver, it could be hard for you to do this. That's
the shift.
Yep.
And even I've got an advisor who's like, you got to start putting stuff in, protect some stuff and take it out of stocks. That is such a weird shift for me.
Yeah. I mean, you have to because you know you need it, right? So when you know you need your money, that's when you know you have to make a change in the portfolio. So I think you can do this, Mo D. The obstacle is more of an emotion, as you said, the emotional shift than it is anything else. It's going to be hard to go from 200 to 0. It might even be too hard for you to go from 200 to 100. So why don't you see, how often do you get, like, how does this work? Do you go on lengthy contracts? Is it time or by project? How does it work?
Yeah, time and by project. So, I can have a client that wants me for 3 months. I can have a client that wants me for a year and a half. Just depends on the project.
And do you do one at a time or more than one?
I'll do one at a time, and then I also have to do other work. But yeah, one at a time.
Maybe you give up. Maybe you do one at a time and you start with that and just say, I'm not going to do anything beyond the one at a time. I think you're going to have to experiment a little bit. It's going to be fun. You got a nice time horizon to figure it out.
I tried it. I did a 6-week sabbatical, and I found out, Jill, that I was spending more money than I ever.
Well, but also when it's the first 6 weeks, people say that all the time.
It was scary. I went back. Yeah. I was like, I can't do this.
Right. Well, we're learning so much. I mean, especially if you like working, I would keep doing it, just not as much. All right.
Think the other option I have too is, remember, I've got 2 homes. At one point, I won't be able to take care of both of them. So
exactly, you can always sell a house. Do you think you would stay in one versus the other? Is one a better house to sort of age in?
Yes,
the vacation one or the big
correct.
One?
The newer vacation. Home, yeah.
Oh, good. All right. Well, you got $1 million. Have fun. Go crazy.
Awesome. So you're not afraid for me. Okay. I'm the one who's emotionally freaking out.
I thought I was I read your email and I'm like, wow, why is she going to retire so early? But the facts are much better than the email indicated.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So
cool.
you're in good shape. You really are.
Oh, thank you.
If you need anything else, do let us know if we can help you. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Jill.
If you would like to talk through what your options are that lay ahead of you, just give us a holler. Go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, JillOnMoney.com, and click on the Contact Us button. You can subscribe to both of our podcasts while you're there, Jill on Money and Money Watch. You can get them at Odyssey, Amazon, Apple, Google, wherever you listen. The Jill on Money Show will be right back. You're back. It's Jill on Money. And if you've got a financial question or you're a financial voyeur, you just like to listen to other people's questions, keep tuning in here or check out all of our great content, which lives on the JillOnMoney.com website. If you do have a question yourself, you can always click on that Contact Us button It's in the top right-hand corner, wherever you are on the website. Now, I know there are plenty of shy people out there, and so you send us emails, and we'd like to answer your email questions. This one is from Anonymous. By the way, you don't have to say anonymous. You can just say a fake name, and I'll just use that fake name. Anyway, the question is it worth spending money on a managed account from Fidelity? Their pitch is tax loss harvesting, but I haven't grown my portfolio for the last 2 years. Yet I have spent $11,000 on fees. Okay, first of all, Anonymous, we really need to get a little bit of context here. The last 2 years have been wild years. 2022 was a terrible year to be an investor, with both the stock market down, the bond market down. 2023, huge reversal where markets recovered. But I think if you go back 2 years, you may be kind of where you were, depending on what the mix of assets you owned. Also, I'm not sure this is necessarily a case where Fidelity is at fault. Now, that said, I don't know whether you should be spending money on a managed account. Maybe you should do it yourself. Will you be able to do your own tax loss harvesting? Will you be able to guide yourself through the ups and downs of markets without getting shaken out? These are questions I would ask, and I would really encourage you to get back in touch with us to find out whether or not you think you can do it on your own. A lot of people can, a lot of people can't. Some people just need the investment part. Some people need more full-time, hands-on advisors to help them out. It really depends on who you are. So I really do encourage you, get back in touch with us. Let's talk this through. Maybe you will be fine on your own and you can save that money, but maybe that's money that's well spent. We have to see. That is it for the hour. So listen, if you've got a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and we will get your note. Don't forget to tell us if you want to join us on the air. Jill on Money will be right back.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show. We are here answering your financial questions. Let's get started with Andy, who is with us from Illinois. Hello, Andy. How are you?
Good. How are you guys? I'm doing well.
All right. Great. What brings you to us?
I'll just say I'm getting close to retirement slash, new journey in life. So I wanted to check in, see if me and my wife are on the right path, see if we've done the right things or if there's anything we need to change.
All right. Well, that's good. How old are you, Andy?
I am 55.
And how old is your wife?
My wife just turned 50 today, this morning. So.
Oh, happy birthday, Andy's wife. Awesome. Well, congratulations. Are you doing something fancy and fun for her 50th birthday? Big surprise party?
So she did not want a surprise party. She got that for her 40th. She was adamant not to have a surprise for her 50th. So we have invited a bunch of friends over this weekend, but she was like, do not want a surprise.
Okay.
No
did you throw that surprise party, and did you not know that about her?
I did throw the surprise party. Well, she threw a surprise party for my 40th. So I did it for her. So, but this time around, we did not do that for our 50th.
Why did she? Wait a second. What was it that she didn't like about the surprise?
I think she just doesn't like surprises. She just likes to know everything that's going to happen. I mean, you name it. Even like holding on to a present beforehand. No, you better not tell her there's a present coming. She's going to either hunt for it and look for it and then rip it open. She just can't stand surprises and things like that. So yeah, she's not good with that.
I had a surprise party thrown for me once, and I had to pretend that I didn't know, which I totally knew. But I was convincing, so it was fine. I'm not crazy about the whole surprise party thing. I just think it's a lot of work, and I'm not sure the why. But okay, your wife is going to have a great dinner party in her honor, and maybe we're going to give her more security in your game plan. And maybe she'll be happy about that because she likes to know what's going on in the future. So, Andy, tell us about the financial circumstances that you find yourselves in. Are you both working?
So we both work. I am in IT. My wife's a teacher. She's been at the same school district now going on 22 years.
Wow.
Myself, I've been working now for, let's just say 30 plus.
Mm-hmm. The income that you guys earn together is approximately how much?
300, and I'll just round 308.
308. Okay. Are you both putting money into retirement plans? I know she has a pension, right?
She does.
Okay.
Yes, I fully fund my retirement, my 401k, including catch up. I've been doing that for, I don't know, probably about 10 years at least. She has a 403b and a 457. We fully fund the 403b. And then the 457, we fund another 12,000.
You're putting a lot of money away. Do you guys have kids?
We do. We have two. My son is 23. He just graduated from college. My daughter is 19, and she is a sophomore in college.
I hope she's at U of I or something like that.
She is not. She's at my alma mater. She's at Purdue.
A Boilermaker.
Yes, but she's gotten a scholarship, so I'm not complaining.
Really? Wait a minute. She is like a full scholarship? Wow.
It's not full. It's partial, but it's more than makes up for the out-of-state part. Brings it back down to, I'll say, in-state tuition costs.
That's amazing. Is your son launched, or are you helping him out still?
Still helping him out. He's still at home looking for a job right now.
Let's get this kid employed quickly. So let's get some of the totals on the retirement plan. So how much is the total in your 401k?
Total comes out to, I'm around 976, 976,000.
And this is all pre-tax, Andy?
There is a small portion of it because I started to do Roth a couple of years ago. So a small portion of that, about $30,000, is Roth.
Okay. And how about your wife? What's in the 403b?
So for the 403b, she's got $487,000.
Mm-hmm.
For the 457, she's got $105,000. And again, we started Roth for her a couple of years ago as well. So she's got a Roth 457, and there's $27,000 in that.
In her pension benefit, tell us what happens for her. Like, where is it that, like, kind of either it becomes either sort of maxes out, or what's the goal? Where do we have to get her to get a pension? There are, I'll say, milestones at 20, 25, and 30 years, basically. Mm-hmm. It is a convoluted algorithm, but she is planning on working for at least another 12 or so years. Holy moly.
Yeah, so she wants to do it until 10 years. She wants to do it until she turns 60.
Okay, what will it be? And when she's 60 years old, what will that pension amount be?
Roughly, if the calculations stay about the same, it should be about 70-ish% of whatever her last 3 years of salary are. They then take the last 3 years, average it, and then based on the algorithm, it's roughly going to be about 70% of that dollar amount. Of
your $308,000, how much of that is hers? What is she making now?
108.
108. All right. So if we just looked at 70 grand in today's dollars, right? We can keep that. Okay, good. Now let's do some more fun stuff. Tell us about any money that you have outside of retirement accounts. Do you have a brokerage account, for example?
So I've deferred compensation as well right now due to my position. That's roughly about $14,000 today.
Okay.
I have a brokerage account, $97,000. That's split between an S&P 500 and the Vanguard Star Fund. I have a Fundrise account that's got about $79,000.
Okay.
And I've got $100,000 in real estate.
What kind of real estate?
It's a syndicated real estate apartment complex.
Oh, all right. Is it paying anything right now? Is it just or are you getting dividends, or what are you getting?
Just getting dividends right now.
Mm-hmm. Is there any way out of this until they or is it like
no, not until they? No, I've got another 4 years, and then I'm out of it.
Okay, all right. In the bank, just big, like basic bank account ish stuff.
Yeah. So I still have more. Sorry. So my mom.
No, go on. I love more.
Yeah, my mom passed away earlier this year. She left us some money. She left us roughly $100,000 broken up between a brokerage account and 63,000 in brokerage, 33,000 in a Roth IRA.
All right.
And then
that's good.
I have a rollover from a previous job, 427,000.
Whoa. Why is that separate from your 401k?
That I wasn't able to at the time roll it into the company that I'm at. And since I just left it, it's at Charles Schwab.
At Schwab, you have the rollover account, the 427. But and then you said you'd mentioned your brokerage account, which had a Vanguard Star Fund in the S&P 500. Is that at Vanguard?
That's all at Vanguard. So the second half of the stuff, my mom's stuff in this rollover is sitting at Charles Schwab. Everything else is sitting at Vanguard.
Okay, I gotcha. We'll get back to Andy in just a second. If you've got a financial question, go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here answering financial questions. Let's get back to Andy, who's on the line from Illinois.
So emergency fund, 35,000, checking, savings, I'll just say roughly 18. It just fluctuates, right? Mm-hmm. And then I do have, again, due to my job, I have RSUs and stock options, and that total account value today is 119.
Is it a publicly traded company or not?
It is. It is
okay.
A publicly traded company.
All right. So chances are they'll have some value.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. House?
We do have a house, 277,000 left on the mortgage, 3%.
Nice. Do you want to stay in that house?
For now, yes. I would say at some point when we retire, different story, but for now, yes.
All right. What's the house worth?
Roughly $650 if you go by.
Yep. I gotcha. But you're in it for a while. I mean, obviously, we're going to get this daughter through college, at least, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your wife wants to stick around because she wants to work for another 10 years, right?
Yeah, she basically doesn't want to be retired when I'm retired. She doesn't want to be in this.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Absolutely. What else do we need to know about you guys?
Still have a car loan, $33,000. Then my mom, like I said, she left us a condo that I'm currently in the process of trying to sell.
How much is that worth, do you think?
Has a mortgage right now of $133,000. It's roughly, I'm going to say probably $350,000.
And you're the only child, or do you have siblings?
No, my brother. So whatever happens with it, we'll end up splitting it.
Okay. If you look at your expenses now, including college that you're doing, and also, you know, obviously you've got to keep your son's a little bit on the payroll till he gets a job, but how much are you spending right now with the kids, everything all in?
Roughly 100. We figured it out, about $100,000 a year.
That's it? And your wife's going to make 70 in a pension, and you're both going to have Social Security? Why are you calling me, Andy?
Well,
why are you calling me? What's happening here?
I have Social Security. She does not.
Yeah, but even so, like your Social Security at your, let's call it at age 70. What do you think that is?
It's $4,700.
Why are you calling me? You know,
honestly,
you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
you're all good.
We sort of did, but we were like, "Are we absolutely sure?" And she's like,
"I am absolutely sure. I'm so sure that I can tell you right now that it would be hard for you to fail in your plan." Now, let's talk about like taking advantage of some of the milestones that you have. So, when would you, if you could, if I said to you, Andy, you know, you can stop working whenever you want, when would that be?
My goal would be 60.
Okay, fine. Good. Let's use 60. So now you stop working at 60. Your wife has got, you know, your wife is making the $100,000, which is not exactly what you need, right? Because you're putting money away, but fine. No big deal. When you're 60 until you're 70, you are going to start pulling money out of your retirement accounts, and you're going to use whatever you need. She can stop putting money away in her retirement accounts at that point. She can just stop. Okay. But you are going to start pulling money out of your pre-tax assets slowly but surely, but you're going to use that to fund whatever you need to fund in your lifestyle. And then maybe even depending on where tax rates go, because, you know, we do have tax rates sunsetting and things could be different, but let's just pretend that you could pull out as much money to keep you in the 22% tax bracket, which, you know, for you, like if your wife's making 100 and change, you could go up to about $192,000. All right. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to pull money out of the retirement account, pay the tax that's due at the 22% bracket. You might even say like, well, you know, we have a year where we're going to go into the 24%. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 24% also, because you've got a 10-year clock that is ticking before you're going to claim Social Security. And we need to get as much money out of those accounts as we can while tax rates are low. You know, you guys are going to have money and you're going to have a big chunk of a required minimum distribution when you turn 75. So we have like these two periods of time between 60 and 70, right? That's your age 60 and you're 70. Then she is going to retire, right, at, in 10 years. Then we have another period of time where her income goes away, but she has the income from the pension and you could still pull money out. And we want to try to get as much money as we can out of these accounts and have that tax due at 24%. Now, I know what you're going to tell me. Maybe you're going to tell me, well, I live in Illinois. It's a high tax state. It is. So what? Pay the tax. Because I don't know where tax rates are going, but I know you're going to get walloped. You're going to get absolutely walloped in your required minimum distributions. You really are. You've got just too much money. I mean, you've been too good a saver. No, I don't want to make it sound like that. But, listen, you got $2 million that hasn't been taxed yet. And that's today. And you're only 55.
Yeah, I think that was our concern is one is the gap between 60 and 65. How do we finance that? But
easy peasy.
Yeah, after a certain point, like you said, 75, our RMDs are going to be
it's going to be big.
Fairly high.
But you know what? If you can get as much money as you can out, and again, it really does depend where tax rates go. I'm wondering, though, it's interesting. I just want to look at everything you have here. You've got the brokerage. Is there any other money here to be used? I don't really think that converting makes a ton of sense, especially because you'd soak up a lot of your cash. I mean, you're in really great shape. All we're talking about now is managing your tax liability. So are you going to tell me you've got all of your estate documents in place and everything's tidy? Yes, please.
We have wills. Yes. My wife's got a question about whether or not we should look into a trust, basically, for anything.
What would you want to do with that trust? Like, what are you thinking about? Just because you don't want the kids to get the money outright this second?
Basically, it would just be it's going to get left to the kids, basically. So, And then some would, of course, go to charities, but that would be about it.
I don't think you necessarily need a trust.
Special.
I mean, the trust would just be to try to make some of the non-retirement assets pass more seamlessly. So there's a few things that you may want to do. For example, a thing like having that real estate syndicate deal, that's like the kind of thing that's a pain in the ass to deal with after death, because it's not going to pass by contract. So when you get that money back, you have a brokerage account. Your brokerage is a joint account. That will be the two of you, right? And, I don't think there's much more you need to do because everything else is going to pass by contract anyway. The retirement accounts pass with a beneficiary designation. I don't necessarily think you need a trust. But what you may want to do is, while the kids are still young, let's say under 30, you might want to say if I drop dead tomorrow, they don't get everything at once. Or you might say, too bad, they'll get it at once, and just talk to them about it. Let them know that, they're going to have to learn how to deal with some of this stuff. But I think you're in good shape. You're in really good shape. And I love that your wife's like, yeah, I'm working for 10 more years. You do what you want. You do you, Andy. I'm doing me. And will she have medical for life?
So she will have medical, but she will have to pay. It's subsidized to an extent, so she will have to pay.
All right,
a little
but it'll
bit.
be cheaper.
But it will be cheaper. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't spend all of your money. Don't say, oh, I'm so sick of these Midwestern winters. I want to go buy $1 million condo in Florida. Don't do that to me, because right now everything works great. But I bet that's something that's on your mind.
Yeah, it is on our mind to move somewhere warmer. Where that will be, we don't know. But we're
you know what? Let's see how much longer you guys work. Stay in touch with us. I think that unless you're dying to make that acquisition of another property right now, which she can't do while she's working anyway, why don't you just, if you like someplace warm, go visit, go rent, get that experience, and figure out if you really want to stay there, for any more time, right? Because that's the best way to learn where you want to be and kind of what that feels like. If you have a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Jill on Money will be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. If you're looking for a place where you want to find a lot of different financial resources, how about our website, JillOnMoney.com? There you can see that we have a free weekly newsletter. Just sign up for it right on the website. We also have a blog. We also have a resources section. We also have 2 podcasts. One is called Jill on Money. One is called Money Watch. And you can get those podcasts at lots of different places. You can go to Odyssey, Amazon, Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you find your favorite podcast. So check those 2 podcasts out. You can also check out our new YouTube video show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. If you would like to join us via video, we'd love that. The show is getting so popular. Wonderful new people who are joining us. We are so excited about it. Just go to JillOnMoney.com and you click the Contact Us button. It says, do you want to come on audio? Do you want on video? Just check the correct box. That's all you need to do. So much stuff living at that website. That is really the repository for everything that we do. Okay, right now, let's talk to Randy from Oklahoma.
Well, I'm just turned 60 and I'm kind of done. I've been working at this job for a long time and I want to retire. I mean, not right this second, but I was thinking I was trying to shoot for 62. And I just wanted to check with you and see if everything's looking okay. I don't know. You may tell me, you got to stay.
I don't like to be a dream crusher, but I have been accused of being one in the past. Let's see if I can make your dreams come true. I'll be like Glinda the Good Witch today. So, Randy, first of all, how much are you earning right now?
I make 115.
Okay. And do you have a spouse who's also working?
Yes, she makes 92.
And how old is she?
She is 55.
And what's her story about work? Like, if you say, I'm done in 2 years, she's 57. Is she going to keep working?
I'm hoping so. But I have this thing where I've told other friends, if I call her and tell her I'm retired, I'm not sure she may beat me home. But she doesn't say that. So, okay. But she probably would like to retire a little early herself, but she would probably stay a couple of years.
Okay. And you said, how much does she make? 92. 92. Okay. Do either of you have a pension benefit attached to your jobs?
I do. My pension is, if I take 100%, it's $2,000. So there's, but I can take a percentage if I leave her something. So.
Sure. Which you probably would do if she doesn't have her own pension, just because she's younger and she's a woman, so her life expectancy is longer than yours, right? When can you take your pension, and when does it get triggered at that $2,000 a month pension benefit?
I could have taken that at 55. So
okay, so you don't have to wait any longer. Whenever you retire, if you chose 100% your life only, you would get $2,000 a month, and some smaller amount if you choose some sort of joint and survivor, right?
Correct.
Got it. Okay. So let's talk about what money you guys have saved in addition to the pension benefit.
In my 401k, I have $704,000.
Rock and roll, man. Congratulations. That's good. Is that all pre-tax money?
I've been doing all Roth now. It's 17%, but right now there's only 15% of it is Roth.
Okay. Great. That's awesome, though. Great, great, great. That's a lot of money you saved on, a good income, but not huge. So you've been saving a long time. I get it. What about your wife? Does she also have a sizable amount saved in her retirement?
She has her 401k at work. She has $240,000.
Okay.
And she's saving 15%. And it's all, she's been putting Roth the last couple of years, but she's probably about the same, like 15% that's Roth at this point.
So you got $1 million basically between the two of you in retirement accounts. Any other money that you guys have saved in addition to that?
Yeah, my wife has a rollover RA from a previous employer, and she has $288,000 in that.
$288,000. Any other retirement assets that you guys have?
That's it. Our biggest problem, which you're probably going to get on me about, is our cash on hand. It's like $10,000.
Well, I'm not going to get too much on you. It doesn't sound like you're losing your job anytime soon.
No.
What about like a brokerage account besides just that emergency savings? Any other like dabbling that you've done?
No, that's it.
Okay. What about the house?
The house is paid off.
Oh, how much is it worth?
$290,000.
Great. And you want to stay there?
No.
No. Where are we going?
We have no family or anything in this area.
No kids?
I have a daughter in Ohio, so we're not anywhere near her. My grandkids are there. And my son, this is my one expense that I have. My son, we don't know where he's going to land. He's not fully out yet. He's a senior in college. And he's one of my largest expenses right now.
Someone just said to us on the phone, literally, a woman just said, these kids are just so expensive. And you are now echoing that sentiment. Okay.
Yeah, he's costing me about $3,000 a month.
Holy crap. All right. So that's $3,000 a month for him. Your daughter is in Ohio. She's married. She has her own kid. She's launched, right?
She's launched, yes.
Okay. So when you say like, you don't know, like you have a house that's paid off, you could move someplace else. Have you guys talked about where and what that would mean for you or what you're thinking about?
We know we don't want to be in Oklahoma. My son, who's in college, doesn't feel like he wants to be here anymore, too. So it's a kind of decide where my daughter is over in Ohio and kind of where he lands and somewhere we really don't know.
Okay. So we have to kind of leave that open as a possibility after retirement. Now, let's say in 2 years, you're like, I'm done. And your wife has a job. Is it a job that she could do remotely, or does she have to stay in Oklahoma, or could she get another job wherever she lands? Is she the kind of person, like, is she like a nurse or something? Like, I'll get a job wherever I land.
Oh my gosh, she's a nurse.
She is?
She is.
What was that good? Mark,
yes, it was.
Are you not often amazed when I make these kinds of leaps? This is when I say to people, I'm not that smart, but I have a good intuition. Like I do get that. Okay, so she can work wherever. She'll get a job wherever she wants, if she wants to keep working. All right. This is so interesting. If you didn't have your bust out son who's in college, I love him. I'm sure he's wonderful.
Yes, he is.
What do you think you spend? What do you think your expenses are really running for you guys to live your nice life?
It's funny. I hear you ask that question to people all the time. And I just have the opposite. I can tell you that number. Like $7,000 we could live comfortably.
We'll get back to Randy in just a second. If you would like to join us, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click that Contact Us button.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
you're back. It's Jill on Money, the program that attempts to take the mystery out of your financial life, and we do so by answering your financial questions. If you have one, just go to jillonmoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll get your note. If you are shy, you don't want to come on the air, give us a lot of detail because we will need that. Right now, let's get back to Randy from Oklahoma. Okay, I work for 2 more years. We have all this money and we're saving a lot of money. And, at my age, 62, I will get this. I'm not going to say a $2,000. I'll get $1,800 a month. Let's just call it that. Right. And my wife will keep working for a few more years and we'll pay for whatever we need. You're going to be in a very interesting situation because if I look at your full retirement age, your Social Security, do you happen to know how much money you would earn on a monthly basis for your full retirement age?
Yes, at 70, I would earn $4,023.
$4,023, and then maybe it's $1,800 for the pension, and then your wife's going to be at $3,000, and you're going to be fine, right? And you'll have more than $1 million saved. So could you spend more than $7,000 a month? I'm sure you could. It's just that until you collect your Social Security, you're under a little bit of pressure, and you'd have to be willing to spend some of the money you have saved. Not that that's the worst thing in the world, right? Because you could take some money out. You're not in, and again, it sort of depends where you guys land, which state and how much tax you'd have to pay. But let's say you're in a state that has, moderate state income tax. Your wife is going to work. I'm going to make her work for a little bit longer. You're going to work for 2 years. She'll be 57. So let's say she works till 60. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
So that seems fair. And then you're 65.
I'm going to tell her you said so, by the way.
Oh, brother. And they made him an enemy in Oklahoma. That's what I can tell you right now. But, we could look at this and say, well, you're not going to make that much money, between those years before you claim Social Security, you would pull money out of your retirement account to live, right? You would take some of that pre-tax money, you'd pay the tax that's due, and you'd live on that money, which is a hard thing for a lot of people to do. I'm going to tell you the truth, because for so many people, the idea of pulling that money out just to live on, as opposed to pull that money out to do a smart Roth conversion, it's hard because you've been saving for your whole life. So when we start pulling money out, the good news for you is that all right, I'll pay the tax that's due. We'll live our lives. And then when we're 70, we'll start cranking and collecting our Social Security, and our expenses are going to be good, and you'll be fine. So, could you spend more than $7,000 a month? It depends where you land, but I'm guessing probably, but I wouldn't look for reasons to spend a lot more than that.
And one other thing too is I get my medical through the VA, and I will get that. So that will help me some with medical expenses.
Yeah, that's huge. Now, of course, that doesn't cover your wife, right?
No, it does not.
Again, she's going to work till she's 65. She's going to hate me so much. Hey, you know what? There is a possibility also that wherever you end up in retirement would be a place where she could say, I'm not going to work that much, but still get benefits. She is in a profession where she could scale down a little bit, which I think would be helpful. I think that this is a great story in terms of what you've done to save. Right now, how much are you putting into your 401k?
17%.
17%. How would you, I know that this sounds crazy, but how would you feel if instead of putting all that money into your 401k, that some of it would go into savings?
That's actually one of my questions, because I could take it all out because I'm over 59 and a half.
Sure.
It doesn't really matter where I save it, does it?
That's right. I mean, well, listen, there's different tax treatment, but I just feel as if you've got a 2-year clock that's starting to tick, right? 60 to 62. I would like to see that savings account built up a little bit more. And you've got plenty of money in retirement assets. You're fine. I wouldn't worry about that. But if you are going to pay the tax on this money anyway, do you get a match at all through work?
My company puts in 5% and then they match 4%.
So if you put in 4% or 5% yourself, and the rest of your money just goes into savings, I'd love it if you could somehow build that savings account up over the next 2 years just to prepare for what this next stage looks like. Now, for all we know, your next stage is we're selling the house. I have plenty of money. I'll do what I want. That's fine. You know what you could do? We were just talking to someone recently. They spent $200,000 on an RV. So you could sell your house, get a $200,000 RV, go wherever you want to go and live there, and then have 90 grand in the bank. How does that sound to you?
That sounds great. I actually made my wife listen to that show.
Isn't that crazy? I'm shocked at how much an RV is, to be honest with you. I don't know anything, obviously. People make lots of different choices, right? And you have different opportunities. And like you said, you're not tied to where you live now. You may want to land in Ohio to be near a grandkid or, wherever your son ends up. But, today you're free and easy, footloose and fancy free. And if you're willing to, be creative, could you maybe, for all I know, maybe when you retire, you're not even going to spend $7,000 a month. Who knows? But I would like you to have some more money in savings. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
have you
good.
done your will? Have you done your healthcare proxy? Have you done your power of attorney?
Yes, we do have all that done.
Thank goodness. All right. I think you're in good shape, man. I'm going to say that today I'm going to be a dream maker, not a dream crusher. How's that sound, Randy?
Well, that sounds good because that makes coming into work a lot easier.
If you would like to join the program, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll get your note. You're back. It's Jill on Money. And before we conclude the program, let's get to an email. This is from Mark, who writes, I'm 62 and I'm looking to retire in 2 years at age 64. I have nearly $500,000 in a 401k plan, and I am completely debt-free. I realize that I will need to buy health insurance for a year until Medicare. What do you think? I bet you are wondering, Mark, what do I think about your plan? And the answer is, I have no idea. Do you know why? You've left out critical information. For example, you're 62, you're going to retire when you're 64. You've got a bunch of money in a 401k and you're debt-free. How much money do you spend? What will your Social Security benefit be? Do you have a spouse? What's the game plan here? Would you be working part-time? Without these pieces of information, it's almost impossible to give you an analysis. So remember, gang, one of the most important pieces of data that you can give to us, regardless of what you are seeking, whether it's retirement, a change in a career, maybe a change in a household income, and some choices you're about to make, is how much money do you spend? That's the one variable that is within your control. Potentially. I'm not saying it definitely is, because sometimes you have commitments and we know that. And this is so much of what my book, The Great Money Reset, is all about, which is coming out in paperback very shortly. In the book, I'm trying to help you identify those factors that you can control before you make these big decisions, whether it's retirement or maybe a total shift in career, whatever it is. You'll notice in every conversation, we often will get to the place where I say, hey, how much money do you need to spend, or how much are you spending currently? That's a determining factor in really understanding whether or not you can reach whatever goal you've laid out. Okay, that's it. That's the program. Oh my God, it went by so quickly. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer and king of all things web. We encourage you to lift someone up. It'll make that person feel good. It will make you feel good. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.